Guys, I can't do this again. Oh my God. Hope I won't be staying here. I'll be completely honest. It really smells very strong. Check out the sound that this car makes when Peng unlocks it. Watch out, I'm gonna shoot. There's a car that appears to be held up by a crane and it was just dropped from that crane. Guys, we're in China. Weird things happen. What? Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is a Chery Ute and we're gonna be taking a closer look at it. I feel so special. Guys, I can't get enough of these. They've got a synchronized dance routine going on. I don't know what this one's doing. This one's like, I'm sitting this one out, guys. For the rest of them, really getting into it. G'day guys, welcome to my, home. I'm currently waiting for my Uber. It's 8:30 in the evening and yes, you read the title right. I'm heading to China again for the third time this year, baby, let's go. Chery have been kind enough to fly us back to Wuhu in China. Actually, I'm flying into Nanjing Airport. I have no idea what's happening this trip, but yeah, this is gonna be our fourth time in China this year. I've been twice with Matt. Matt's gone once without me, and this is gonna be my first time solo in China with Chery. So without further ado, roll the time lapse. So I'm just sitting in my Uber on the way to the airport, and I get an email from one of my contacts at Chery asking me, what shirt size am I? Because there's going to be a charity bike ride, apparently. So I still have no idea what we're doing in Wuhu, but I guess at least I know we're gonna be riding bikes. I'll check back in at the airport. Alrighty guys, I'm not at my gate yet, but I just saw this through the window and I had to stop and film because it's actually a Scoot aircraft. If you look closely, you'll find some interesting decals all around it. I wonder if that one's off to Tokyo because it's called the Pikachu jet. And yeah, I can spot a couple of Pikachus. I can spot a Psyduck. I can spot a Charmander. Very, very cool little decal there on the side of that plane. I'll have to rely on you av geeks to tell me what kind of plane that is. But I'm actually going to be taking a Scoot flight from Singapore to Nanjing. So I wonder if mine will also have that decal or if it's reserved for planes that are heading to Japan. So pretty cool. So while I've got you guys here, I do want to quickly thank Chery for flying me out to China once again. So I am going to be flying Singapore Airlines Premium Economy tonight. So thank you, Chery, for sorting out those tickets. Maybe throw some business class our way next time, please, because I have to sleep tonight. And actually that brings me on to basically what happened last time when Matt and I flew with Chery to China is we ended up in the middle of the middle. So I am going to be flying in an Airbus A350-900, I believe, which has a 343 or maybe it's a 243 configuration in Premium Economy. And I'm going to be in the middle of the four. So wish me luck getting some sleep. Alrighty guys, we've just boarded the Airbus A350. I'm currently sitting in the middle of the middle. I actually swapped seats with someone. The Singapore Airlines staff called me up. I think I had about 6 missed calls on my phone and they wanted me to swap seats because I was splitting up a family apparently. So I decided to move back here and I'm now at the rear end of the section. So I'm hoping that doesn't impede on my ability to recline the seat, but we'll see. Because pretty much as soon as this plane gets in the air, I'm going to be going to sleep and I'm going to be trying to sleep for as long as possible. I'm not going to be eating anything. I'm not going to be sampling the goods on this one. It's just going to be a sleepy flight, I think, but I'll check back in a bit later. Guys, welcome to a very sleepy Changi Airport. It is currently 5:20, I believe, in the morning. My next flight is out of here at 10:30, so I've got about 5 hours to kill, so I'm going to walk around a bit, check out what Changi has to offer. Alright guys, so I started getting a bit peckish, so I've gotten myself a nice wonton soup. It cost me 8 Singaporean dollars, so I don't know what the conversion is, maybe about $10 Australian. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. I also got some lime juice, very nice. What I didn't film before was I got myself a coffee from Starbucks. It was actually genuinely really good. Normally I don't have the highest expectations of Starbucks, but I was pretty impressed with the banana and walnut muffin. which was actually really nice. So I've got about probably an hour till we board. It's 8:40 at the moment, and then it's going to be about a 5.5 hour flight to Nanjing. We're going to be flying on a 787 in Scoot, I believe just normal economy class, so nothing too special. I thought I'd just get some food now, just in case there's no food on the flight, because I'm getting a bit hungry. But I'm going to smash this down and I'll check back in a bit later. Alrighty, flight number 2, let's get to Nanjing. This time I get the window seat. Oh yeah, it's actually not a bad looking aircraft, gotta say. Looks pretty good, Nick. These are pretty old now, but I'm already having a better time than on my last flight, I gotta say. Alright, we'll check back in China. Alrighty guys, we are in Nanjing. God, it feels good to be back in China, I gotta tell you that. Look at that weather. It is pissing down. Couldn't see anything out of my window as we came into land. It feels like I was just here, guys. It is honestly the strangest thing. And I was just telling a couple of the guys from Chery, who are super nice, by the way. Everyone's been super friendly so far. I was just telling them how I've been to 5 different airports now in China, and they all look exactly the same. What the hell's going on with that? And they have a theory that the same guys hired for all the airports, and I think they're probably right. Sitting in the back of a Buick something at the moment. I don't know exactly what it is, but I have been in one of these last time we were here with Chery. I do remember this particular model. And yeah, very comfortable car, no complaints. Guys, I can't do this again. Oh my God. Second time in Wuhu, second time I get the bloody smoker's room. What is going on? Look at this. Look at this. I didn't need to see that to know that this was a smoking room. I instantly knew it the second I walked through the door, and I just started cracking up. I'm like, there's no bloody way. I'm sorry, I had to say something. I'm going to try and move rooms. I can't do this for a week. I can't do it. Don't blame me. But apart from the smell, wow, what a room. This is very nice. I hope I won't be staying here. I'll be completely honest. It really smells very strongly. And the guy I was talking to try to move rooms, I said, excuse me, is it possible to move to a non-smoking room? And he kept thinking I was asking him if it was okay to smoke in here. And he was like, yeah, you can smoke as much as you want in here. You can smoke as many cigarettes as you want in here. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's pretty obvious because I can smell it. But can I move somewhere where I can't smoke? Bloody hell. Alrighty guys, we are in a non-smoking room. Let's go. I've just finished up my dinner, and I'm gonna call it pretty early tonight, I think. I was probably gonna go for a bit of a walk, but it looks like it's bucketing down outside. Have a look out there. Look at the streets of Wuhu. Yeah, it is raining tonight. So I think I'm gonna call it pretty early, freshen up, get a bit of rest. Tomorrow is actually kind of a bit of a late start, so I'm gonna get up pretty early. My guide Peng, he actually helped me move rooms, and he told me, bro, we don't have to do anything till 1 p.m. tomorrow, so if you wanna do anything in the morning around Wuhu, give me a call and I'll drive you wherever you wanna go. But yeah, that sums up my first day of travel, really like a solid 24 hours of travel. I'm glad that's over. I'm glad we're here, we can settle in and enjoy the next week or so, because I've received the agenda for what we're doing, and it is full on. I guess you guys are in for the ride, so join me.
The next morning.
Good morning from the first day in sunny Wuhu. Guys, I slept for like 11 hours last night. It is currently 7:30 in the morning. I thought I'd get my day started with a bit of exercise, go to the gym, then have some brekkie, and then I've got my guide, Peng, who has texted me that anywhere I want to go, he'll be my driver. So Peng, I guess you're my driver for today. Let's get today started. Guys, have a look at my view out of my window. It is beautiful. Look at that. The city of Wuhu. I think it's safe to say it rained a bit last night. Gosh, if you've ever been to China, you'll see those buildings literally everywhere. They really like to maintain a consistent building style. Very cool. Also, I just found out I'm gonna be driving some Omodas and some Jaekoos off-road today. So that'll be fun. Let's hope it's not too muddy. Or maybe, actually, let's hope it is muddy. We can put these cars to the test. Let's do that. guys, I'm in the car with Peng, who is my carer for this trip. He's gonna look after me. I gave him one mission this morning. I said, Peng, we've got a couple of hours. Take me somewhere interesting, take me somewhere beautiful in Wuhu. And he said, no problem, give me 30 minutes, I'll be at the hotel. So he's just rocked up in his Link. The maps are talking to us, it's all happening. I guess this is one of the main roads.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's downtown.
Downtown Wuhu. Last time I came to Wuhu, we went to a party district. There were lots of restaurants, karaoke, bars, nightclubs, everything. And it was all lit up, all lights everywhere.
Yes, beside.
Oh look, there's a big shopping center, cinema over there, IMAX.
Yeah, this location has all the things you talked to me.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, this car costs no more than 40,000 Australian dollars based on the conversion here in China. And he just turned on the massage function on my chair by voice command, just so you know what's coming out of China in the next few years. Guys, you can see even the police and the government officials drive Chery Tiggo 7s in Wuhu. You don't see that every day. Guys, I'm sitting in a Huawei car. It's an Ito M9. Check this out. Have you guys ever seen screens like this in a car? My goodness. Up ahead, you can see a massive heads-up display. We just went and got Starbucks and I saw this store and I was like, I have to check out these cars because I have heard they're really cool. Look at this, Huawei Drive 1, and you've even got Huawei speakers as well. Check out the sound that this car makes when Peng unlocks it. Isn't that great? You can set it to whatever sound you want. That's hilarious. What a car. All right, so that was a bit of an adventure this morning, but just finished up lunch and we're actually gonna be heading off soon to take some cars off-roading. It's gonna be about an hour's drive on the bus and got a few journos with me, a few friendly faces you might recognize. And I believe we're gonna be driving a Omoda C7. That's one of their new models that's come out. And I believe we took a look at it last time in April, but it was just on display, we couldn't drive it. So it'll be very cool to get behind the wheel of this C7, as well as do some off-roading, because the last time we did off-roading was actually last time we were in China driving the BYD Shark and the Yangwang U9. So we have a bit of a point of reference that's fresh in mind, but join me as we head to the off-road course. Guys, I've found the forbidden off-road vehicles. Look at this. You can get a little digital speed readout thing there. How cool is that? It's a manual gearbox. I would have never known. And this one here is, God, I don't even know how you begin to steer that, but good luck. Guys, I can't contain my temptation any longer. I gotta get in. Oh wow, what if I just started it up? Do you reckon everyone would freak out? I'm now inside a tank. Watch out, I'm gonna shoot. It's very comfortable in here. You can even fit your family. Shall we check out the artillery? This looks like it was probably used to dig the holes for this off-road track, honestly. I think an artillery of that caliber would demolish anything. That's unreal. So this is how they would adjust it, up and down, left and right, through these wheels. Oh, which actually work. Oh, I'm turning the whole thing. My goodness, probably shouldn't have done that. They might get scared. They've just got these like old machine guns here as well that look like they're from World War II. So this is what you press to fire, and there's the bolt. That's just staring down the barrel of that. Guys, I have no idea where we are, what this place is, what we're doing here, but we're gonna drive, I believe, a Jaecoo J7. I don't think we're driving the new J5. I can see a J6, and it's also extremely wet, extremely muddy conditions. So it'll be quite challenging for these cars because they're not like fully off-road cars. But oh my God, this one's spinning out here. Look at that. That's brilliant. Oh yeah. That's what I'm gonna be doing next hour or so. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life right now? So this is a Jaecoo J8, which is a Chery Tiggo 8. I thought it felt familiar, but I'm gonna be taking it off-road. I'm gonna treat it a bit more gently around here, if you can call it that. Oh God. Now, oh God. This doesn't want to give me much power, which is a shame because this car is a PHEV, and so it has lots of power to give. Oh, that was pretty decent. These are pretty harsh conditions, I gotta say. Like, this mud is very deep. And it just doesn't want to give you power. And then when you put your foot down, it does nothing. I'm very confused. Driving the Jaecoo J8 off-road, initial impressions. I know I didn't really say anything while I was driving. I didn't have anything to say. I mean, that car, it did pretty bloody well given how deep the mud is around here. And that is by no means an off-roader. It's an all-wheel drive PHEV built on the same platform as the Tiggo 8 Pro. So look, I mean, it's not the most off-road capable car, but I think it did pretty well. All right, so now we're in the, oh, try not to run over one of the Chery workers. Now we're in the Jaecoo J7, which is a 1.6 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder. Pumps out 186 kilowatt of power, pretty decent. Oh, sorry, 186 horsepower, and oh, it's very, very touchy. Very, very touchy. And I'm gonna cheat because I just saw Mark do this track and he was saying if you just feather the throttle, it actually behaves a lot better. So let's try that one out. Oh God. Bit of over there. It really does not want to put the power down, I can tell you that much. I'll try for one more lap real quick and see how we go. This looks like quite a wet corner. I'll try to watch this. I just wish it would give me a bit more power through there. I'll tell you what though, this is a little bit shorter in wheelbase than the J8 that we just drove, and you can definitely feel it. It is a lot more nimble, responding a lot nicer to my inputs, at least steering wise. The throttle is about the same. Come on, come on, come on, come on, go. It's just the car is easily unsettled by the lack of traction and just refuses to put it down. Get a bit of speed over this bump. Very nice. Finish off in the sludge. Here we are. Oh, bottomed out hard there. Come on. There you go. Wheels come off. Yep. Car's falling apart. We did it. Check out those wheels. No wonder we were sliding everywhere. That is some serious mud. That Jaecoo grill has never been dirtier. Absolutely filthy. And somehow the back is completely clean. I love that. Look at this. Even though it's covered in mud, I've never seen a dirtier Jaecoo. You can still clearly see that it's a Jaecoo. That is just caked. Oh yeah. I'm keen to drive this one. This will be a lot of fun.
G'day guys, Matt Brand here. Today we're going to be driving the Jaecoo J6.
Guys, we're in the Jaecoo J6. I'm most excited about this one because this doesn't know what traction control is, apparently. Okay, I'm gonna go now. This car has 2 electric motors, which goes to all 4 wheels. Whoa, and it loves to power out. Oh, that's brilliant. But it's just cut me off again. I think I have to be a bit more gentle. Take this a bit wider. Oh, awesome. Trying to avoid that sludge out there. Oh, it's pushing me out wide. My God, we're really putting this car through it now. So I should probably say some numbers. This does have 2 electric motors. They produce 400, almost 400 Newton meters of torque combined, 385 Newton meters to be precise. And that goes to all 4 wheels. And it seems to be, oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm out wide. Oh, here we go. Look at that, it came back in. I pretty much went sideways there. That was brilliant. I'm full lock, guys. I cannot lock the wheel even more than this. It does have a mixture of understeer and oversteer. It's very interesting. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, it doesn't power out. Oh, man. Lots of fun. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. I've just completely stopped. Guys, I hope you understand. I'm flat stick this entire time. Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very good. You survived. Newbie. Guys, I'm in love with this thing. This is the Jaecoo J6. It's not gonna look exactly like this when it comes to Australia because it's gonna keep its original iCar 03 front design, which has a slightly different grille, slightly different headlights. But what's important is that it's gonna keep its driving characteristics off-road, because I just drove this thing off-road and it was absolutely ridiculous in so many different ways. It just wanted to oversteer everywhere. And that's because it has 2 electric motors that power all 4 wheels. Essentially, that allows it to both oversteer and understeer simultaneously. It's quite an achievement, as you can see. I've just driven it and it's absolutely caked in mud. That's because I went pretty much sideways throughout this whole track. And all I want to do is drive it again. I just want to drive it one more time. So I've just found out it's 135 kilowatt at the rear wheels, 75 kilowatt at the front wheels. That's why it drives so much fun. So it's a rear-wheel drive biased, all-wheel drive electric vehicle. So that's a lot of fun off-road. Alrighty guys, we've reached the end of what I guess is day 2, but kind of day 1 in China. Today we got to drive the J6, J7 and J8 off-road on that off-road circuit. We had a lot of fun going sideways in the J6. Yeah, definitely an interesting day. So tomorrow the plan is we're gonna get up, it's gonna be a bit of an early start. I think we're heading out around 7:30 in the morning. We're gonna be heading to another test drive, but this time on the road, and we're gonna be driving Omodas and Jaecoos again. I'm not entirely sure what models. I was completely wrong about today, what we were driving, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to guess what we're driving tomorrow, but I am looking forward to driving some more Chery Omodas and Jaecoos. By the way, guys, just came from an unbelievable dinner. There's actually a massive shopping center just across the road from the hotel hotel, we ran across the road and went and got some delicious food and just absolutely smashed it down. It was gone before I could even film it. It was just gone. So yeah, that's the end of day 2. I'll see you guys in the morning for day 3.
The next morning.
Hello and welcome to a beautiful sunny day 3 here in Wuhu. Well, it's not exactly sunny, but I'll take what I can get. And as you can see, we have a whole range of new cars on display out the front here. We have a smart car here. This is the Smart 6, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. And here we have what appears to be a decal. I'm pretty sure this is a decal because the logo looks familiar, and we are receiving these very soon in Australia. We recently had a launch, I believe, for the SL07 in Australia, which unfortunately, because we're on all these other events, Matt and I couldn't attend. But yeah, very exciting stuff, obviously coming out of decal. And I gotta say, look at these, look at the decal on the spoiler here. Very interesting. He looks a little bit lost there. A bit like me. I'm just a lost boy in a big world in China. Alrighty, I guess it's time to hop on the bus and off we go. Welcome to the annual Chery Global Innovation Conference. As you can see, I'm surrounded by various Chery models and Chery personnel. This is gonna be a pretty epic day where we get to have a look at the future of the Chery brand, including all of their various sub-brands, and get a sneak peek at what's headed our way in Australia next year and the year after. So join me as we head to the Global Innovation Conference. Check these out. You got the Chery Tiggo 7 Plus, I believe. I don't know what this one is, but this looks very interesting with the bonnet there. My goodness, that is some aggressive aero styling. Here you've got your iCar 03 T, which is essentially the Jaecoo 06, I guess, but a special version with some additional styling. You can see the aero on the sides there. My God, that is very aggressive. And you can see the iCar 03, which is essentially the Jaecoo J6 that we drove yesterday. Very cool there. Got a couple of Lux Seeds over there. Plenty of brands to check out. And guys, I've just spotted something a bit fascinating. What's going on over there? There's a car that appears to be held up by a crane, and it was just dropped from that crane, resulting in little bits of car flying around everywhere. I'm not sure what the purpose of that demonstration is, but very cool nonetheless. Guys, we're in China. Weird things happen. So yeah, this is what happens if you don't know how to drive a Jaecoo J6. And then we've got another car over there that's just gone. So we're inside the building now. I believe we're gonna go find a seat and watch the show. There's a lot of interesting stuff here, guys. I just saw an Exceed model, which has something called Yuntai chassis, which is something very similar to what we saw with the Yangwang U9, where the car is actually capable of not jumping, but essentially dancing using its adaptive chassis. So very cool. Guys, check this out. I found my future ex-wife. There she is. This is the future, guys. Whether you like it or not, we're all gonna be marrying robots and we're gonna be becoming part of the human slave colony. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. No, don't leave me. Can I just ask why they had to shape her like that? So I just had a really fascinating conversation with a guy called Owen, who's actually heading up the Chery Z-Drive AI program, which is their self-driving, essentially for their more budget and mainstream vehicles. That other NVIDIA chip is going to be used on their high-end vehicles, and it's going to be kind of like a central processing unit for the entire car, not just self-driving, but things like climate, comfort features, as well as self-driving. Essentially, the Z-Drive that he's headed up, he gave me some insights into kind of the training process that they use for the model. If you guys are interested, I'm a bit of an AI nerd, having my background in computer science, so I'm always interested in what goes into these models. He said it's a vision-only model that's using the transformer architecture in a convolutional neural network. If anyone knows what that means, that's really cool, actually. I cannot believe that they can use vision-only in the transformer architecture to achieve self-driving. That's fascinating.
The event will officially begin in 1 minute. Please take your seats promptly to ensure.
Alrighty guys, so we just finished up a pretty long presentation from a bunch of the key speakers at Chery, including Chairman Yin, who is obviously the chairman of the board of Chery Motor here in China, in Wuhu specifically. And yeah, wow, there's a lot coming out of Chery. Have a look at this room. So this is their Mars architecture that they were talking about, which they're even talking about cars that can dance, cars that can do a tank turn on the spot. Yeah, so very similar technology to what we saw recently in the BYD research and development. Guys, check this out. It's the star of the show. We have an Exceed here. Have a look at how much room you get in the back here. Now, they showcased an animation of this during the speeches, and you can actually completely change the orientation of these front seats to face the rear. Something that we're seeing out of brands like Zeekr with the Zeekr Mix. And this table can be extended into the rear and used as essentially a dining table inside the car. Just check out how much room there is in there with a full like wood grain floor design. You get this beautiful leather interior, and look at that steering wheel design. It's very cool with a screen on the steering wheel. Very futuristic. And even the seats can fully recline, and have a look at this mechanism here, this hinge. Wow, my goodness. This step fully extends out. So you can see here, this is the Exceed Stera ET, which seems to be their flagship model now, demonstrating all the new tech coming out of Chery. Very cool stuff. Check this out. We can see a few screens here. Look at this one. This display is integrated into this kind of wood grain design. It's fascinating. So that is actually a touchscreen, but it's completely wood grain. Very, very cool. And now look at this one. This is probably one of the largest displays I've seen in a car. And this one here, you've got the sliding display that can go back and forth. Very, very cool. What have we got here? Intelligent cabin system. So you can configure the interior, the exterior. Wow, very cool. Wow, that's a bit spooky. Oh. This will be an interesting one for some people, maybe a bit controversial, but you can also get your car protected using quantum security. So as we're seeing more and more technology systems on cars, more and more connected services, there becomes the necessity to protect the cars from unwanted intruders like hackers. So I don't know, take that as you will, but essentially Chery are offering cybersecurity protection on their cars now. We're here with the Chery iBar, not to be confused with the Chery iCar. This is a fully level 4 autonomous driving bus, essentially, which is about 4 meters in length, so not quite as long as you'd expect, with interior space rivaling that of 6+ meter long cars. So as you can see, it's very spacious on the interior. You get a large, what appears to be 55-inch screen in there. My goodness. This could be what the residents of Jaecoo are getting transported around in the near future. Who knows? Check this out. Hello.
Good boy. He's a good boy.
Oh, I think it's getting a bit nervous. Hello. Hello. Oh my goodness. How are you, mate? How are you? I touched its hand for 1 second, and in that 1 second, I could feel just how strong it was. That was a bit scary. Experiencing what it might be like one day to fly around China in one of these, a flying car, which they actually showcased in the presentation as being able to undock itself from this and then just drive off. But what I'm curious about is where are they going to store all these wings? They're quite large. I don't see people keeping them in their garage at home. That's very cool though. Imagine owning an electric vehicle and not needing to go to the charging station, because the charging station can come to you. That's right. Chery have created an intelligent charging robot which can come to you. They've also got a range extending electric vehicle over here, or a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and that is capable of achieving 2.98 litres per 100 kilometres on the WLTC. They said that they achieved a Guinness Book World Record of longest journey by a range extending electric vehicle, something like 2,100 kilometres in one continuous journey with this car. So that's pretty impressive, I gotta say, with very, very fast charging speeds apparently. 15 minutes, you gain 600 kilometers of range. Here we go, we found one that's even more impressive. This is able to achieve 700 kilometers of range in 10 minutes, or 1,300 plus kilometers of total range. All right, that was a super quick walk around. I think I've got 3 more minutes, so let's try and get in a couple more things. We're entering the Chery lifestyle section, so you can see a lot more of Chery's lifestyle branded products, which is definitely part of their overall marketing strategy. Oh, here we go. There's a new Full-Win T9, which I think is the global market's name for the Tiggo 9, as you can see here. All the Chery Life products, including bikes, you've got fridges, you have generators. They really want you to take your Chery camping. That's the vibe I'm getting here. All right, now I've definitely got to go. I'm holding up everyone like I always do. Hope you guys enjoyed my walk around, my super quick walk around of the expo. And now it's time to head to lunch, and then we're going to test drive the new Omoda C7 and the Jaecoo J5, amongst other things, including some of the other models that we drove yesterday. So join me as we go drive some cars on the road. One of the funny things I love about these Chery events is they'll show you a car for about 30 seconds and then ask you to do a 5-minute survey on it. So we've just done about 5 of them. But now we're gonna be driving some Cherys on this track over here. It just started bucketing down, but luckily I got my poncho all sorted. And of course, the second I put my poncho on, it it stops raining. But I think we're about to drive some Jaekoos and Omodas. We've even got something called an Xlantics over here. Check out this car. I can say we just had a look at some exciting new models. Have a look at this. We have the Omoda C7 here. Look at the interesting grille pattern there. It's all like hexagonal, very, very cool, very aero, very kind of sharp design here. I'm seeing kind of shades of Lexus at the front here, I have to be honest. Look at these tail lights. They're just absolutely wild, like lightning patterns going through across the back. Very fitting for an EV. So yeah, I guess we're gonna test how that thing drives in a straight line. I'm gonna try and time it 0 to 100, and we're gonna be doing a slalom as well, so wish me luck. Oh, one other thing, another car that I'm super excited to have a look at is the Jaecoo J5. This is the all-new Jaecoo that they've just announced, and you can see it's got the classic Jaecoo grille there, very square design with the Range Rover headlights. You got these very EV aero looking wheels there, and the Range Rover continues to the rear. Oh my God, look at this angle. I actually really don't mind these cars in white. They look quite cool. Alrighty guys, I just finished up doing the driving test track in the Jaecoo J5. I took it for a launch. We went over some rumble strips, and then we did a slalom followed by a figure eight. And I was actually pretty impressed with the way it handled. It definitely feels quite agile. It's not too heavy feeling, and you can really chuck it around, and it doesn't understeer anywhere near as much as I thought it would. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get up to 100 on the straight, but I did test the 0 to 60 time, which was pretty decent. Now I'm gonna test drive a Xlantics ES. I have no idea what that is, but it looks really cool. Let's go check it out. This looks like an absolute weapon. My goodness. Check out the styling on this. Very, very cool. I love this color as well. And have a look. Xlantics spelt out there, ES, which I believe it could be the sporty version of the Exceed ES. At least it looks like that to me. Have a look at the massive light bar on the rear. Very, very cool. You get these two cameras back there, probably for your Sentry mode. You have green, which probably means it's ready to go, ready to absolutely destroy the track. Check out the alloy wheels on this. This looks like something out of straight out of GTA or something. My God, look at the massive red brake calipers. Man, some of the cars in China are just styled like craziness. Actually quite a similar design to the Jaecoo J5 we just saw, except this screen is slightly larger and it's also horizontally oriented. So this cool crystal design here with ambient lighting. Yes, we've got our specialist timing gear. I'm gonna try and launch this thing 0 to 100. But first we've got the instructor to give us a lesson on how to drive this car. Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
That's done pretty well there. That's done pretty well. That was way faster than I expected. Actually, we hit 0 to 100 in 4.29 seconds. My God, that was pretty good. Alrighty guys, so we're driving the Xlantics ES, which I believe is the extreme sporty version of the Exceed ES. No, it's just a foreign name for it. I'm just joking, but it is bloody fast. I've got my left foot on the brake. I've got my right foot planted on the accelerator. Let's launch it. Oh, God. Oh, that's fast. Woo. It's got good braking as well. Jeez, that was all right. And it bloody handles pretty bloody well. Let's see how it takes this corner. No, not. All right, unsettled a bit, but that was pretty good, all things considered. I might have touched the brake there on that corner. That's probably why we lost it a bit. Bloody hell, I think I shut myself. Alrighty guys, it is golden hour here in Wuhu. Check out the beautiful sunset colors behind me. And we just finished up our day at the test track and our day of shooting with a massive range of cars, including the new Omoda C7 and the Jaecoo J5, and even the wild card that I did not expect to drive, the Xlantics ES, which was just an absolute beast. Getting 0 to 100 in like 4.3 seconds. That was really impressive. And I think what I was most impressed by was the spaciousness inside the J5. You take a look at it, it doesn't look big at all, but then you sit inside the rear seats and it's just absolutely really, really comfortable and spacious. And I'm definitely excited for that car to launch in Australia. I don't know about you guys, but it looks really cool. Definitely looks a bit like a Range Rover ripoff, we gotta be honest. But you know what, I believe Chery owns something like 50% of Land Rover here in China. So I don't know. I think if you own that much of a company, you probably have a right to use some of its design language. And that's definitely what they've done for the J5. Say goodbye to the test track. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more action from Wuhu, China.
the next morning.
Hey guys, and welcome to day 4 here in Wuhu, China. Check out the day. Absolutely bucketing down, but that's not going to stop us because today we're heading to Chery headquarters. That's right, we haven't been back there since that massive party that Matt and I went to in April of this year, where there was like 1,000 dealers from all around the world essentially celebrating the Chery brand. So we're going to be visiting Chery HQ for an ecological exhibition. So I guess we're going to be talking all things sustainability at Chery headquarters. We're going to be there for about an hour, then head back to the hotel for lunch, and then we're going to be heading off to Fanta Wild. That's right, we were there last time with Chery. It's one of the most random places you could ever visit in Wuhu. It's like an abandoned theme park. I'm sure it's open sometimes, but yeah, last time we were there, it was pretty eerie. So we're going to be making a return to Fanta Wild and taking some more cars for a test drive before we head off back again to the Chery headquarters for the official launch of the Jaecoo J5. So yes, even though I filmed an entire video with that car yesterday, I guess we might be getting some more additional details, including maybe a final specification for Australia. So who knows? So without further ado, join me as we head to Chery headquarters. So there's been a slight change of plans. As you can see, the weather's quite grim. So they thought it'd be a bad idea to go to the ecological summit, kind of stand outside all day. So we're here at the Wuhu Museum. We're gonna see some of the history about this town of Wuhu, the birthplace of Chery. Let's explore what the Wuhu Museum has to offer. These bronze artworks were made completely by hand. They represent the beautiful landscape of Wuhu, created by a guy called Xiao Wenqiang. Very cool. Date back to the late Ming Dynasty. You can see where the Yangtze River and some other rivers meet. And at the meeting point is where Wuhu is. All right, guys, I gotta be honest. We were about to call it quits until we stumbled upon the Chery exhibit. That's right, we've got cherries in the Wuhu Museum because obviously Chery has played a pretty major role in Wuhu's development economically, for sure. Look at this, that's a QQ. I really hope we can see a QQ Me because it's a pretty funny car with a pretty funny story. Actually designed by the guy that designed a lot of the famous Alfa Romeos back in the day. So very cool car, very interesting looking car. I'd love to see one. So here you can see the evolution of the Chery designs from the early 2000s all the way through to current designs now, where you have things like the Exceed Stera ES and the Tigos, as we know, as well as iCar, some EQ, oh look, EQ1. I'd love to see one of them driving around. I've actually seen quite a few on the streets. So if we can spot one parked outside, we'll have a look. Check this out, we've got the first ever Chery there, built in 1999. I'd love to see one in the wild. And have a look at this enormous police fleet of Cherys in Wuhu. Hello, hello, and welcome to Fanta Wild. Fanta Wild Dreamland, the stuff of nightmares. In all seriousness though, guys, this place is a little bit creepy because it's kind of deserted, but we're not here to look at the theme park. We're here to look at some cars. We've got some interesting models from Chery. We've got the Luxeed R7 here, which is actually, Luxeed, if you don't know, is a brand that's co-developed between Chery and Huawei. We've got the Tiggo 4, 7, 8, and 9 on deck today, so we're gonna be taking them through the performance tests, like the straight line test, some of the handling tests, like the slalom. I'm most excited to drive the Tiggo 4, which I actually just got a look at, and they've got a hybrid version here, interestingly, which is not gonna be coming to Australia, but it does come with the same 1.5 litre turbo engine with a hybrid motor as well. I have to point out one of the deficiencies of that hybrid. If it ever does come to Australia, if you come inside here, yeah, look at that. Surely they could have found a better place for the battery. But you know what? It is what it is. You gotta remember, the Tiggo 4 is one of the cheapest new SUVs you can buy in Australia. In fact, it pretty much is if you don't include the Suzuki Ignis. And I have to admit, it looks quite nice. I don't mind it in this color. It's kind of an interesting bluey, silvery color. It's got a really nice front design here. I love the grille actually. Very cool. Nice leather steering wheel. You get this beautiful leatherette material on the seats, electrical adjustment, and a pretty massive infotainment screen as well. So yeah, we're gonna be driving a few more cars today. Stay tuned if you want to see how the Tiggo 4 performs in a straight line test. I'll try and launch it to 100 if I can get it. You know what, let's check out the Luxeed R7 while we're here, because it actually does look really cool. Very EV shape with the kind of soft swooping lines here across the front. Look at these headlights. They kind of remind me of the Porsche Taycan, I have to be honest. You can see you got cameras here, cameras down here. Oh, there's a gentleman in the car, we don't want to disturb him. Cool little spoiler at the back here. You can see Luxeed R7 spelt out there with a massive light bar across the back with a pretty cool, actually sporty kind of splitter at the back there. Look at these pop-out door handles. Oh, actually they don't even move. They just kind of unlock the door and you can swing it open. That's kind of cool. And look at that. This is one of the cool things about Luxeed is the shape of their steering wheels. It's very, very strange. And these also get progressive steering. So they have a bunch of different levels of steering input sensitivity, essentially. So around the city, it's very easy to maneuver without crossing your hands over too much. Look at that display up in front. You can see the range. You can see it's been using 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I'm sure because it's just been sitting here for a while with the heater on. Let's have a look here. Wow, my goodness, that is such a crisp screen. Obviously, I would expect nothing less from a car co-created by Huawei. So high resolution. I don't know if that's coming through properly. I can actually even record from the cameras. Look, I just took a photo of old mate. I can record myself and probably my whole family as we sing karaoke on our road trip in China. I can even see that photo I took of that guy before. That's so funny. I believe this circuit will be a high-speed acceleration, then a quick turn, and then a couple of high-speed lane changes, I guess. Let's give it a shot. Alrighty guys, we're sitting in the Arizo 8 plug-in hybrid. I'm gonna put it in drive. How do I change the drive mode? We're in sport mode. So this does have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which makes 115 kilowatts of power. The electric motor makes 150 kilowatts of power with 310 Newton meters of torque. So this should be pretty quick off the line. It really wants me to go. Let's do this. Oh God, that was a bit gentle. Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
Oh. Yes.
Not too bad, very good.
Oh. Yes.
Nice.
Good. No.
Oh, okay. I misread the track. That was the Arizo 8 plug-in hybrid. So that was pretty fun. It's time to drive the Tiggo 8. We've already reviewed this one on the channel, so I'm not gonna film this one, but this is for my pure enjoyment. All right, guys, we're in the Tiggo 4 Pro. Now, this car does come with a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which pumps out 108 kilowatts of power, 210 Newton meters of torque to the front wheels via a continuously variable CVT transmission. So what we're gonna do now that I've got that out of the way is we're gonna switch the car into sport mode, shift into drive with this really weird shifter knob. And we're gonna wait for the Tiggo 7 to finish doing the track. Then we're gonna take this on the slalom and test out its handling characteristics. I'm super excited to do the Tiggo 4 because we are planning on buying one of these cars for the channel. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that video when it does come out. Not too bad. Pretty good grip. He's commenting on my driving performance. What I am noticing is the suspension is quite softly sprung. It is clearly designed for comfort as I take out that cone there. And so you do end up getting lots of body roll as you take those corners at a little bit of speed. Have a look at this one, guys. This looks like a facelifted Tiggo 7, slightly revised grille there. And if you have a look at the rear, this is where you'll really spot the difference. I think this might be slightly different as well. Have a look at that spoiler. And yeah, the rear design is completely different with the tail lights. Look at that, very cool. We're gonna drive it now. So yeah, very similar interior though, even though the exterior on the rear looks very different, apart from this weird kind of prickly knob. Let's go. We're in sport mode? Yes, we are. Wish me luck. Whoa, complete understeer there. Every single corner was an understeer there. I had to turn about 5 meters before every corner because I knew I'd keep going straight. That was a bit of fun in the Tiggo 7. So the Xlantix EX is built on an 800 volt architecture. It is powered by a dual motor setup, delivers 230 kilowatts of power, 430 Newton meters just from the rear motor, and then you get an additional 123 kilowatts of power from the front motor. So yeah, you combine that, you end up getting 0 to 100 in a little over 4 seconds. So let's give this thing a go.
For safety reasons, it is recommended to turn off the dynamic ambient light while driving.
Thanks for the advice. Go, go, go.
Yes.
That's good.
Great.
Not bad. Oh, it's heavy.
Yes. Slalom.
Oh, just took out a cone there.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's actually quite sharp. I have to say, like, very responsive to the steering. Is there a sport mode? Is there sport mode? We were in eco mode that entire time. Yeah. All right, so I've just found out we were in eco mode, which means we were probably in limp mode, and the engine wasn't getting full power, and also the steering was in complete comfort mode. So I can already feel it, even though I'm sitting still. The steering wheel has become 10 times heavier. Oh. Whoa! All right, now I'm in sport mode, so I'm gonna launch it. Whoa. Oh, much faster.
Yeah.
That's good. Steering feels a lot tighter. No. Took out all the cones. I guess I shouldn't give it any power mid-corner. All right, guys, it's Tiggo 9 time. I like the Tiggo 9. We've reviewed this car already on the channel. If you want to watch our full review, because I'm not going to be reviewing it here, I'm going to be flooring it here, then watch our video, because we go into a lot more depth than we will here. All right, let's just go for it. Oh, yeah. Nice revvy engine. Hard on the brakes there. Very good. Take this. Come on, give me power. Very nice. Whoa. Somehow managed to avoid the cones there, even though I went one-handed. Very nice. Very impressed with the Tiggo 9. It was out of control, but in a very controlled way. Alrighty guys, so we're in the Exceed ET, and this is the E-Rev, which is the range extending EV. So this does have a 195 kilowatt electric motor connected to a petrol engine, which is also powered by a 32 kilowatt hour battery. This should do 0 to 100 in about 7.8 seconds. Not that we'll reach 100 here, but let's just give it a shot. It has started raining, so wish me luck. Very gentle acceleration. Does not really want to get up to speed. Hard on the brakes there, no issues there. I like the way that that corners, and I have to say, compared to something like the Tiggo 9, you can really feel that this has a lower center of mass because of that battery under the floor. Let's go again. Bit more speed this time. Come on, hard on the brakes, just in time. Take it a bit faster. Oh, I think it wanted to wiggle out a bit there. Interesting. Honestly, not bad. I'm impressed by the ET. Alrighty, that concludes our day of test drives here at Fanta Wild theme park, whatever you want to call it. At least we had a bit more space in the car park this time to use all of the test tracks, and we got to see even more future models that are coming out, as well as test drive the entire Tiggo range and a couple of Exceeds as well. I have to say the Exceed ES and ET are completely different animals. The ET felt so leisurely in its approach to driving, whereas the ES just felt like a completely crazed animal, frothing at the bit, just wanting to take you out of the track and through the fence, to be honest. Like, it was crazy to drive. So that was heaps of fun. It was a good little taste of some of the cars coming out of Chery, at least in the local market. And I hope we get some of these Exceeds heading to Australia, because they're actually quite nice on the interior. So now we're gonna head back to Chery headquarters for the global unveiling of the Jaecoo J5. So join me.
A few hours later.
There's a lot going on, but I've just spotted something that I need to take a closer look at, because have a look at that. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? I think this might be a Chery Ute. What? Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is a Chery Ute, and we're gonna be taking a closer look at it. Oh my God, it's a proper pickup with some good tires, and it's got a good sized tray. No one told me about this. What's going on here? Alrighty guys, so that concludes the event for the evening. What a bit of a surprise. We got to have a look at a Chery Ute, what it could look like at least. That was just a model, but pretty cool nonetheless. We attended the Jaecoo J5 unveiling, we got a few extra specs, and now we're gonna head off and hopefully get some dinner, because I'm starving. But that's Jacob signing off for the evening. We'll see you tomorrow for day 5 in Woohoo. Guys, welcome to, day, I don't even know, in Woohoo. We're about to go for a charity bike ride here at, where we did the Future Innovation Conference earlier this week. And as you can see, we've got just about 1,000 Jaecoo bikes behind me. We're about to go for a 9-kilometer ride, so join me. Alrighty guys, we just finished up the fun little ride. I think we did about 9 kilometers. I completed it in under half an hour, so I feel like that's pretty good for someone who doesn't ride bikes ever. Feeling a bit sweaty now though. Bloody hell, that was good fun. It was quite chaotic at the beginning with everyone taking off, but then once we got a bit of space, it was loads of fun. Here we are with all the winners. And we've got loads more people coming in there. Hello, and welcome to the Chery Safety Research and Development Facility. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Chery Tiggo 9 get smashed into a wall from different angles, and we're going to see and evaluate just how safe the Tiggo 9 is. hopefully without any humans inside. 85% high strength steel, 10 airbags. We're gonna see them all go off today, I'm sure. You can see these ones are getting lined up for what looks to be a slightly just off from center head-on collision. And you can see they have the sensors connected via cables, which come all the way over here. And then the data gets analyzed on these laptops. Here are the slow motion cameras, so I can see everything in high definition glory. So those dummies inside are gonna be having a real bad time very soon. Check this out, guys. You can see the different grades, different tensile strengths of steel that they use as part of the frame. So usually the darker colors correspond to the stronger steels. As I said earlier, this one uses 85% high strength steel. You can see the reinforcing rings all around the chassis and all these reinforcing elements in the doors. I don't think I've seen that before. That is pretty cool. This is quite cool because obviously I've seen many crash tests on video and photo, but to see one here live with the lights on is quite an experience. So here we are at the battery submersion test. As you can see, we've had a battery sitting in the water. This one's been there for 48 hours, submerged fully in water. Battery's about to exit the water. As you can see here, the platform is slowly rising. Now they're gonna test to see if the battery is able to maintain charge.
Immersion test of the battery pack was successful. Thank you very much.
So there you have it. All functions normal, no short circuits. It's good to go. Now we're gonna head to the wading test where we will see a Chery Tiggo 9 drive through some water. So you can see the car is about to go in. Let's see how deep this is. Oh yeah, that's a solid water, probably half a meter, maybe a foot. So that means that battery is fully submerged. These guys are chilling. Have a look at that. Now we're gonna experience that same test from inside the car. I'm putting my body on the line for this job, guys. If I don't make it, tell Matt I love him. As you can see out, we're about to enter the water. That's a strange sound to be hearing from inside a car. Wow, that is really impressive. I didn't realize how deep this water was from the outside. Look at the 360 camera, absolutely going nuts. Alrighty, now it's really time for the crash test. So we're gonna be taking our positions up the top there. We're gonna be quite a far distance away from the impact zone right here. So let's go up there.
3, 2, 1.
Here they come. I actually feel sick after that. That was quite alarming to watch. Let's take a closer look at what's happened here. Both the FEV and the ICE look fairly similar in terms of damage. You can see the front left tire of that FEV is completely flat. Must be a puncture at the front there. So it's funny, you can see the curtain airbags have gone off on the FEV, but obviously the sensors on this one have decided it didn't need to go off. But they've only gone off on the left side of that white Tiggo 9. Very interesting. I mean, I think given this collision, I'd want all the airbags to go off. So they've already actually had time to make observations and measurements based on the crash test, and we can see some of the results here. So you can see the velocity was about 50 kilometers an hour for each. There's been no deformation on the A-pillar and the doors, so enough space for survival, apparently. Both the ICE and the FEV have passed every single test. There was no intrusion, no leakage, no explosion for the battery pack. The doors both unlock, airbags deployed normally, and there was no high voltage discharge during the crash. Let's have a look at our dummies, see how they're doing. They look like they're doing all right. So yeah, that's what happens if you take two Chery Tiggo 9s and smash them into each other at 50 kilometers an hour. Well, actually they hit at 100 kilometers an hour. So I'd say, yeah, you probably don't want to do that. You probably want to avoid that, actually. It's good for your health to avoid that. So I think that wraps up our tour of the Chery Safety Test Facility. As you can see, it is a very comprehensive facility. It is one of the largest in Asia, in all of Asia, in fact. So yeah, very impressive what we've seen here. And you can see that the scale of operation at Chery is only continuing to expand. Oh, I've got a drone right above me. Now the plan is we're going to head off and we're gonna go have some dinner on a boat. So if there's anything interesting on that boat, I'll make sure to whip out the camera, but otherwise, ciao for now.
The next morning.
Hey guys, welcome to the final morning here in Wuhu, China. We do have one more day after this, but this is the final official day of the program here in China. Last night, well, it got a little bit unhinged, so we won't talk about that. But essentially today, we're gonna be heading off to the Ecological Summit. I think that's what we were meant to do a couple of days ago when it was pouring down, but we went to the museum instead. So now we're gonna head to the Ecological Summit. We're gonna see some of Chery's sustainability innovations. Then we're gonna be heading off to Chery headquarters for a media interview where we get to ask some hard-hitting questions of the Chery executives, like when is the Ute coming to Australia? That'll be my question. So let's get this day started and check out the Ecological Summit. feels so special. The future of flying mobility by Chery. What do you reckon? Would you take one of these to work? Imagine how bad the traffic would have to be for you to want one of these. You can see there's a speaker on the outside of the car. There's another look at the flying car. So this bottom section with the wheels is actually able to detach from the rest and leave the wings behind, which can stand on their own just on these stands here. And this propeller is what actually propels it forward when it's in the air. And these propellers are what provides the lift. Guys, I can't get enough of these. They've got a synchronized dance routine going on. I don't know what this one's doing. This one's like, I'm sitting this one out, guys. For the rest of them, really getting into it. So that concludes the Chery Ecological Summit. We heard from speakers from UNICEF, from the UN. We even heard from Dame Jenny Shipley, the New Zealand Prime Minister. Everyone is very passionate, obviously, about sustainability and the environment. So very interesting stuff. And then we had a extended speech from the president of Chery International. He led us through some of the sales goals for the coming years. They've got some pretty ambitious goals, let's just say that. They want 100,000 monthly sales by the end of the year. So good luck with that, Chery. All right, guys, we're back at the old Chery office. I recognize that because it says CEO House and there is Chery International entrance. And this is where we had that big party last time we were here. And what we're gonna be doing now is we're gonna walk in and do some interviews with Chery executives. We all have one question that we're allowed to ask, and I'm asking about the future of Chery in Australia. So join me as we head inside. What a way to close out what has been a pretty memorable trip to Wuhu. The 2024 Chery International User Summit wraps up with a gala dinner. As you can see, I've brought out my finest threads for the evening. I'm kidding, it's just a bloody shirt from Kmart, I think. And we're gonna eat some food, we're gonna maybe dance a bit, we're gonna drink some alcohol, because tomorrow I'm back home to Melbourne. It's been a good week. So that just about wraps it up, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching my trip here in China. It's definitely been a lot of fun, so thank you so much to Chery for flying me back out and showing me a bunch of exciting new stuff and giving me some awesome access behind the scenes here at Chery headquarters in Wuhu. When I was here in April with Matt, I never thought I'd be back so soon, so it's been really cool. And seeing just how much the operation has grown in such a short time, it's quite inspirational. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching my travels. It was certainly a lot of fun. Lots of interesting moments, lots of laughs, and as always, lots of sauce was given. So guys, stay tuned, subscribe if you want to see more vlogs. Ciao for now.